All right, Spencer, this is Brantley from Atlas Sports, taking a look at this game video. I wanted to use some stuff where I can get close up. I know a lot of this is game film, so this is going to be my best two angles here. You're doing something kind of unusual that I don't see very often. I have two cases of guys that, I mean, there's two pro guys you can use as an example. One of them I played with, so I'm a little familiar with this, but this is basically coming down to the back leg, and your back leg is um, it's kind of like you're jumping off the mound, but you're more specifically shifting to the inside of your back foot almost immediately. And what's amazing about that is that you're getting into really good positions despite that. So two guys that do this, Jordan Walden would be a guy that used to jump like this. And then Carter Capps would be another dude that has a similar kind of action. They're a little more like deliberate in their jump, but the delay of jumping or going to the inside of your foot and hesitating to throw is almost identical between you guys. So they're good examples of seeing how this could work, like how you could get away with this, but this is a super violent way to throw. So we don't want to necessarily do it this way. The back leg, though, what it's really coming down to is when you are driving here, all right? And you're going to see it both angles. Initially, we're fine. Okay, the position that you're at, we're looking for the knee or the back knee to stay stabilized over the back ankle. All right, so from both angles, you're doing that. The hip is leading out from both angles. All right, both these things are good. Now, almost immediately, what's going to happen is you're going to shift to the inside of your back foot. And so as you're doing that, when you get to the inside of your back foot right here, so if you're looking at the pressure on the back foot, you'll see that we've lost the vertical shin angle that we're going for. We've moved to the inside of the foot here. The front leg is not really reaching out or spreading out. And so your upper body is doing the right thing here where you're actually spreading your arms, you're delaying your back arm and spreading out with your glove arm. But I believe that this problem is going to get solved with some activation stabilization of the back leg, but also the front leg needs to behave a little differently and actually be a little more aggressive in helping you get down the mound. You're not going to reach out with the front leg, but we are going to spread out with the front leg. And the way that I try to explain this is you want to feel like you're pushing your legs away from each other. So when you do decide to drive with your back leg back here, when you decide to take off in your motion, let me go back to the beginning on the side here. So when you do decide to drive here, right here, you'll see that it's going to collapse almost immediately and that front leg is going to shift open. What we really want to see is you're trying to drive your legs apart from each other. So you want to think about when you push, you want to feel the legs spread away from each other. And I'm going to show you some stuff to kind of get the feel for that so that you can stay stable on this back leg longer and get the most out of yourself. Now, as you go forward, you're going to have this issue, but you're not really jumping like the other examples that I was giving, but the concept is the same. You're coming into the inside of the leg, you're kind of extending out on the inside of your foot, and your shoulders are going to be semi-rotated by the time you land. So this is essentially a jump because your energy transfers straight down and then comes off of it. So your head movement will be similar to a jump. Now, similar to Jordan Walden, this is something that he did to kind of make up for it, and that's why I'm familiar with this because we were teammates. So this front leg right here, to stop you, ordinarily if you jump, your torso is going to be too far forward, and so it's really going to expose you for velocity. Or if you go to the inside of the back leg, in your case, you're going to be too far forward. But notice how you're going to somehow get to almost like a hyperextended front leg here. So instead of having some flexion in this front leg, you are barely bent on this front leg, and you're just going to stick it right in the ground. So you're going to make that knee not go forward at all and start bracing up. This is something we want to see, where we want the front leg to straighten up like this as we're rotating. You don't necessarily see it where you land almost straight. See that landing right there? How you're very high up? That's going to kind of go away. It'll be a little bit smoother when I teach you how to drive out. So in other words, you'll have a little more flexion at this frame here. The knee will be bent a little bit more. And then as you rotate, the knee will straighten out, leg will straighten out. So it won't be as harsh as this. This is just kind of a violent way of your body making up for the fact that you've done this with your back leg and just trying to figure itself out. So this is a good little adjustment your body's just doing for you. Now, as you're going out, all the finish is relatively fine. I would imagine it feels pretty high effort to throw this way and pretty tense to throw this way. So what we're going to do is we're really only going to put all our focus on this back leg. All right, and front leg relationship to help the back leg. You see how right here, the front leg on the left side, the front leg is staying under the front hip right here, relatively. I'm going to get that leg to sweep out, so I'm going to get it to spread out more. And that's going to allow you to keep stabilization on that back leg longer. And it's going to feel like you're driving more smoothly and lower to the ground than you are currently. And so that should be a big difference in feel for you. You're going to feel like you're not trying as hard when you're trying to push. That's it, man. That's going to be what we focus on. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm going to show you some movement patterns and some drills to get going forward. Slide board is going to be something that you're going to take advantage of. That's going to be a really easy way for us to feel this out. So that's it, man. I look forward to talking to you in the future.